So many people have said to me, particularly in the last few weeks, that pregnancy loss support is a niche topic. I want to challenge that today with numbers. Because if you know five or more women, you almost certainly know someone who has experienced pregnancy loss. Probably more than one person. And the chances are that you had no idea. My name is Bianca Johnson. I'm an empowerment coach and an author based in South Africa. I have two children from 8 pregnancies. That's 6 pregnancy losses that I've experienced, including a TFMR. I wrote the book All of These Lines, my memoir about pregnancy loss and finding hope and healing. I create content on this channel and on my social media to break the silence around pregnancy loss and support lost parents to find their way back to themselves. If that's new to you, welcome. And if you've been here for a while, thank you for staying. Before I get into the statistics, if you find this kind of conversation useful, please hit subscribe. I'm on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers this year using only organic human growth. Every single one counts. Studies, including the March of Dimes, suggest that around 1 in 4 known pregnancies ends in a loss. Those losses include miscarriage, stillbirth, termination for medical reasons, and other pregnancy complications. So 1 in 4 is the statistic that's often thrown around. It's not necessarily 1 in 4 pregnancies. It's 1 in 4 known pregnancies. That's quite an interesting statistic because the vast majority of miscarriages happen before anyone even realizes that they're pregnant. You might be a few days late. You might even be 2 weeks late, not really have known that you were pregnant and lose the pregnancy. But the 1 in 4 statistic applies to known pregnancies. Those are women who knew that they were pregnant and their pregnancy ended in a loss. If you know 5 women, you are someone who knows someone who has experienced a pregnancy loss. It might have been very early. They may never have said anything to anyone. Whether you have sisters, mothers, aunts, colleagues, friends, almost all of us know at least 5 women. Statistically, at least one of those 5 women that you know has experienced pregnancy loss, probably more. Pregnancy loss is not a niche topic. This is a women's health issue that touches almost every social circle, every workplace, every family. The statistics are drawn primarily from data collected on cisgender women. The picture looks somewhat different across LGBTQIA+ spaces. But pregnancy loss absolutely touches those communities too. And the silence and isolation can be even deeper there. Inclusive support is so important. And it's why everything that I do is inclusive of all of those people who experience pregnancy and are affected by it. Because the thing as well is that pregnancy loss is not only affecting the woman, it is affecting the partners, it is affecting family, it is affecting parents, it is affecting friends, it's often affecting friendships. And this is why, to me, pregnancy loss is not a niche topic. Just because we don't talk about something and we have the social norm that we don't tell anyone that we're pregnant until you're out of the first trimester, around 12 weeks, that there is this shame about pregnancy loss, which is imposed on the person who is experiencing the loss because we don't want to make people uncomfortable. This topic is not niche. This topic affects just about everybody in some way or another. And because of the silence and the isolation and the don't make people uncomfortable, when people do share, they're often met with platitudes. Oh, at least you can get pregnant. Everything happens for a reason. Just think positive. That is all toxic positivity. That person has experienced the loss. We don't say to someone who has lost a partner, at least you were able to be married. We wouldn't even think of saying something like that. But we do this when it's a pregnancy loss. To that person, in the few hours, days, weeks that they knew that they were pregnant, That was a baby. That was a life. They dreamed a life. And that life is now gone. And so people stop sharing. The medical system treats finding out that you're pregnant as this happy, wonderful thing, and everything is spoken about the baby. Congratulations, you must be so excited about the baby. And then when you lose the pregnancy, suddenly it's products of conception and fetus. But weeks ago, it was baby and congratulations, and you must be so excited. When we change the talking like that, we negate the experience. We say to the person, oh, you were allowed to be excited when it was going to end in a baby, but you're not allowed to feel the emotions of a loss. And the people around us take their cues from that. This results in lost parents grieving in silence, and the people around them not realizing that they have friends, colleagues, family members who are carrying pregnancy loss. The week that I'm recording this is just before International Women's Day 2026. The theme is Give to Gain. The idea that when we give generously, we create a ripple effect that lifts everyone. As Leonie Dawson and Denise Duffield-Thomas mentioned, the statistics show that women who funds provide more to their environment, more to their immediate community than men with the same amount of funds. So it's true that when women give, there is always a gain. It is a net gain throughout. And one of the things that the International Women's Day campaign specifically is calling it for is giving visibility. And that's exactly what talking about pregnancy loss does. It gives visibility to the people who have been holding their loss in silence. It gives visibility to the people who are talking about the topic. It allows those who feel like they've been suffering alone to feel less alone in that moment. When you share this video, when you tell your story, when you ask a friend how she's really doing after a loss, you are giving visibility to something that has been kept quiet for far too long. You don't have to have experienced pregnancy loss to be part of changing this. You just have to be willing to hold the conversation. That is give to gain in action. So what are some of the things that you can do to provide visibility to pregnancy loss? Share this video, especially with someone you think might need it, or someone who works with women. Check in. If you know someone who's experienced pregnancy loss, a simple, I was thinking of you, matters more than you know. Read my book. All of these lines is my memoir about my journey through 6 losses. It's written to help lost parents feel less alone and to help the people around them understand what it actually feels like. And this week is a particularly good time to grab the ebook. Read an ebook week runs from 1 to 7 March, and my book is 50% off on Smashwords. I'll link it in the comments. And even if you don't read the book, get it for someone else, because they may find that the songs and the journaling prompts included in the book help them find a way forward to finding the hope. Pregnancy loss is not a niche issue. It is a human issue. And the more we talk about it, openly, honestly, without shame, the less alone every lost parent feels. That's why I'm here. That's why I make these videos. And if this one resonated with you, please share it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next week.